broadcast tonight, members of Marathon County gather to remember victims of last week's shooting. Plus, a group in Merrill looks to raise money to give one park some major upgrades. We'll have more details coming up.
Your local news, weather, and sports from where you live. News Watch 12 Weekend starts now.
Good evening, I'm Dakota Sherrick. Over the last week, we've been covering the Marathon County shootings. Tonight, community members came together to remember the 4 lives lost. News Watch 12's Erin Bew went to the candlelight vigil held tonight. She's live in Weston to bring us more. Erin, tell us what you saw.
Hi, Dakota. Yeah, I'm out here at Kennedy Park in Weston, where just hours ago, hundreds of people were here to show their support for the victims from last week's shooting. There's firemen, policemen, and volunteers of all kinds. People wore ribbons and lit candles for their loved ones. There were 3 different pastors that spoke, and there were a lot of hugs and tears throughout the vigil. But one of the event coordinators, Brandy Bradford, says it wasn't all sad.
Amazing how a community can come together. I don't know that you can say anything more than that. Megan even said to me, she's like, plan on lots of hugs tonight from people you don't know, and we'll take them. And but it's not just the 4 of us, it's everybody. Everybody is coming together tonight for 4 lives that were lost on Wednesday.
While many members of the community came here tonight to show their support, there were also some local store managers who wanted to make sure tonight was extra successful. I spoke to 2 local store managers who could do what they could to help tonight.
Dozens of people planned to show up to tonight's visual. Community members brought balloons, ribbons, and of course, candles. Dollar Tree store manager Sherry Butterfield stepped in to make sure there were plenty of supplies.
It's really nice. It's great the way people are coming out to help each other. I mean, it really touches my heart, and I hope it touches everybody else's as well.
Butterfield doesn't know any of the victims personally, but that didn't stop her from helping the friends and families of the victims out of her own pocket.
I've lived here all my life, and this is such a tight community. Somewhere along the line, you have a connection to one, if not all, of the victims.
The vigil took place at Kennedy Park, just around the corner from a local Target. Similar to Butterfield, the store manager of Target, Kim Vanderhoovel, believes giving back to the community is crucial in a time of need and pain.
I think it's just really important to show that support.
Vandenheuvel says she allowed members of the vigil to park in Target's parking lot and use its restroom.
They're more than welcome to use what we have to offer as far as space so they can attend the event.
Both store managers believe there's nothing that can break the bond this community has.
This little bit can help, make things a little easier. That's all I asked for.
Dozens of people plan to show up to tonight's visual. Community members brought balloons.
For what I've seen tonight, the community has really come together in this difficult time. We're covering the news live in Weston. Erin Bew, News Watch 12.
The Department of Justice did release visitation information for the detective killed in last week's shootings. The visitations for Jason Whelan will be held at D.C. Everest Senior High School. The school is located at 6500 Alderson Street in Schofield. Visitation on Tuesday will run from 4 to 8 in the evening. Another visitation will be held Wednesday morning from 10 a.m. to noon.
Well, a bit of a damp and dreary day out there across Northwoods, wasn't it? Yeah, we saw plenty of rain showers across the area. Let's take a look at that satellite and radar right now. Things kind of drying up here right now. We had plenty of rain showers across central and northern Wisconsin. That's kind of sliding off here to the south and east, leaving a lot of us here in the clear for now. Those showers will be around through the rest of the night and through the day tomorrow. Here's a look at those temperatures. 38 here in Rhinelander, 36 in Tomahawk, 36 also in Antigo, 38 as well down in Wausau. Those temperatures going to slide a little bit lower into the low 30s for your overnight low. Here's a look at that overnight planner. We'll see some fog and drizzle and mist possible as we head through the overnight. Otherwise, expect mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures dropping into the low to mid 30s for your overnight low. Let's take a look at what the weather watchers saw out there today. Barb and Eagle River at 39, Wally and Bills Lake at 41 degrees today. Temperatures haven't really changed much over the last few days. Those high temperatures sticking around the 40-degree mark for Bill and St. Germain. Louis in Minocqua at 41 degrees as well. And down to the south, not much different. Temperatures in the 40s as well. The Krems in Stevens Point at 42. We'll have my full forecast just a few minutes. Dakota.
Thanks, Ryan. Rhinelander firefighters responded to a house fire off Boyce Drive earlier today. The department got the call around noon. Pine Lake and Pelican Fire also responded. Firefighters say when they arrived, they could see smoke coming out of the roof.
We made entry and there was heavy smoke coming up the basement stairs, which was right inside.
The Rhinelander Fire Department says there was so much smoke that it was difficult to find where the fire started.
We went downstairs and found a lot of heat, a lot of smoke, and we knocked down the fire.
No one was in the home when the fire started. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. A group in Merrill wants to revamp the city's dog park. Yesterday, the Merrill Dog Park Friends group hosted a fundraiser for the upgrades. The fundraiser was held at Our Savior's Lutheran Church. 10 local vendors participated. People could buy clothes, jewelry, art, and even baked goods. Members of the dog group say it's important to upgrade the park.
Merrill's a city of parks. We got to have the best dog park in the state. I mean, got to live up to the reputation.
The group created a detailed plan on everything they'd like to add to the park. Things they say would make the park more enjoyable for the community and the dogs.
Everything from water source to lighting to agility equipment, benches, shade.
The group hoped to raise $500 at the event, though they say it will take a few years and many more events to raise enough funding for all the improvements. Check out WJFW.com later tonight for information on how you can donate. In a little over a week, Wisconsin State Superintendent Tony Evers and longtime public school administrator Lowell Holtz will face off in the April 4th election. Evers and Holtz disagree on what the priorities of Wisconsin public education should be. During the race, Evers has brought up Holtz's alleged bribe to a former candidate in his television ads. Holtz denies offering a bribe, and the Election Commission has said he didn't break the law. The election is officially nonpartisan, but Evers is backed by Democrats and Holtz has Republican support. A teenager from New Jersey passed away last year, but in his death, he is taking saving lives to a whole new level. Luke Bautista's donated organs helped save almost 100 other people. Earlier this month, one recipient met Luke's family for the first time. Jim Murdoch has the story.
Hello. Missy Massey walks to the door of the NJ Sharing Network into the open arms of the Bautista family. Her 6-hour drive from Williamsport, Pennsylvania to New Jersey may never have happened at all if it wasn't for the life-saving donation from their 15-year-old son. Last May, Luke Bautista died in an accident at his Monmouth County home. The heart-wrenching decision was made by older brother CJ to donate Luke's organs.
It's pretty crazy that you can just like take parts of him and just like put it in someone else and they're just like living on now. Like he improved Missy's life and it's pretty cool.
Missy needed a pancreas. The call came, the organ arrived, and within hours, Luke's pancreas was now inside her after an 8-hour surgery at Hershey Medical Center.
I realized it was Mother's Day and I was still here with my daughter as a mom, but yet another mom was having to grieve to put her son at rest.
Luke's smile will live on in pictures and memories, but between tissue and organ donations, he helped save nearly 100 lives. Luke's mother, Carla, says it's what he would have wanted. And for her, she says it even helps in the grieving process.
I couldn't grasp it. Couldn't grasp that a piece of my son was going to walk through the door. Like in a human, like in another human. Really impossible to grasp.
I'm nervous. What do you say? I've said thank you a million times, but it doesn't seem like it's ever enough.
As Missy struggles to find the right words to say, perhaps her young daughter Katie's words work best.
I was worried that someday she wouldn't be here with me.
And now she is. Jim Murdoch, News 12, New Jersey.
President Trump is on the attack today against members of his own party. Find out who he is blaming for the failure of the Republican bill to replace Obamacare after Ryan Sandberg's full forecast when we return.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining us here this evening. Let's take a look at that almanac in Rhinelander today. We topped out 39 degrees, just shy of our average of 42. Those temperatures have been kind of hanging right around that average mark here. 70 forecast brought to you by Northwoods Furniture. Sunshine returns Tuesday into Wednesday, temperatures near 50, and then another chance for rain showers Thursday and Friday with temperatures hovering in the 40s. Dakota?
Thanks, Ryan. President Trump attacked members of his own party today for the failure of the Republican bill to replace Obamacare. Plus, the top Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee is questioning whether its Republican chair is trying to discover the truth about Russian hacking during the election. NBC's Jennifer Johnson has the story from Washington.
With the plug pulled on the GOP's plan to replace Obamacare, President Trump took to Twitter Sunday, blaming the loss on a hard-right group of House members. Democrats are smiling, Mr. Trump tweeted, that the Freedom Caucus, with the help of Club for Growth and Heritage, have saved Planned Parenthood and Ocare.
I think the president's disappointed in a number of people that he thought were loyal to him that weren't.
But Republicans blame the plan.
The problem really is not with a specific faction in the House. I think it's with the bill.
With the president's 100-day deadline to replace Obamacare now apparently dead, the White House says it's moving on to tax reform and passing the budget. But Congress's investigation into whether the Trump campaign was involved with Russian hacking into the election isn't going away.
This is the most important thing that I've ever done in my public life. And what I know now, as I get more and more into this, I'm going to double down on that statement because it's extraordinary.
The House Intelligence Committee chair has canceled a Tuesday hearing with former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper and others, drawing fire from the panel's top Democrat.
I think the chairman has to make a decision whether to act as a surrogate of the White House, as he did during the campaign and the transition, or to lead an independent and credible investigation.
The Senate Intelligence Committee is still planning on holding its hearing March 30th. Jennifer Johnson, NBC News, Washington.
A Wisconsin high school student is being praised for saving his classmate who was choking on a cheese curd, and it was all caught on video. Boyd Hupert reports.
When he threw it that last shot, I really thought I was going to go ink.
The talk at La Crosse Central High School was all focused on last week's state championship.
Right in here.
Until Will Olson and Ian Brown found themselves in the middle of some heroics themselves.
Someone cracked a pretty good joke, and I was laughing so hard to the point of where I took a deep breath, and that's when I started to choke.
Will's choking in the lunchroom was recorded on this school security video, with Ian across the table just starting to realize his friend is in trouble.
And that's when I started to panic, like, oh geez, like, could I possibly die from this?
But that's when Ian calmly gets up to perform the Heimlich maneuver. 1 thrust, 2, 3, 4. And the food is expelled.
I was just relieved that he was still here.
I was very lucky to have him across the table from me.
Lucky because the teen who knew what to do, still acting so calmly, had just been refreshed in the Heimlich as part of his training in the Police Explorer program. He assessed the situation just as he'd been trained and went to work. And the high school freshmen still aren't done. They're already planning to address the school board, asking that basic CPR be required in all health classes.
Especially after this.
Champions born for the second time in a week.
I walked into PE and people were clapping, and I come into the lunchroom and I got a standing ovation and a bunch of kids were clapping, and I'm like, all right, can I eat my lunch? You know, that's...
Give Ian the trophy for humility and heroics.
Better be good.
Dozens of dogs arrived in New York City today after being saved from a South Korean meat farm. 46 dogs of all shapes and sizes arrived at JFK Airport this afternoon. The dogs were met by volunteers of the Humane Society. The Humane Society will be taking the dogs to shelters in New York, Maryland, and Philadelphia, where they will be adopted.
What a neat story. Like, I always love stories like that. I'm a huge dog person, so I'm glad these dogs, got saved.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Good thing it wasn't Brantley.
Yeah, right. Brantley's a rescue dog too, so I'm glad it wasn't him. But good thing those dogs got saved. But here, let's take one more look at the weather out there. Your radar a little wet out there for some of us, but things will be drying up here as we head through the overnight, and then we'll be left with some isolated showers through early tomorrow and tomorrow afternoon. Temps right now holding steady in the mid-30s. Those temperatures will drop into the low 30s, and your 7-day forecast shows sunshine Tuesday and Wednesday before more rain chances Thursday and Friday, and then temperatures kind of going to hover in the upper 40s to low 50s, so not a lot of fluctuation there, but not a bad forecast.
At least it's getting a little warmer.
Right.
All right, that's it for your news around the Northwoods. Have a great night.